You happy with the gate, Ben?
Yes, this was bought from a farmer in Berkshire, second-hand Mount Pleasant backing gate.
Yeah.
But one thing we've added to it is we've stock boarded the gate, which basically on a couple of other farms I've worked on, especially in the spring when you bring in new heifers in, you can get quite stressed out and you'll get the occasional animal try and jump the gate, and this has completely stopped that now. And it's also great now in the cold weather because the parlour's open at the back. In the cold weather, we bring the gate up to the parlour and it acts as a door to keep the cold out, to stop the parlour freezing up. But
Okay.
I can't stress enough at what a difference it's made stock boarding that gate.
Right. And you found cows were trying to jump the gate, or just...
It's in the early spring when
Yeah.
you're getting fresh calved heifers in.
Parlor training and
They're stressed out, and if they think there's a way out, they will try anything to get out.
Yeah.
And whereas this now, there's no argument. Once a cow knows it's beat, it knows it's got to go in that parlour.
it also stops the gate pushing the cows, because when they can see through the bars and see this way, they always challenge it. And when they see the board, it's like using boards on pigs. It seems to just follow it a lot easier.
Yeah.
It's less roaming.
It's censored anyway to trip off if someone accidentally pushes it too hard.
Yeah.
But,
So we're at cow time. Cows are coming in. They're going to have access to their bales.
yes, they got access to a few bales, regrettably, because of the dry period. It's just a small number of cows it's just a top up really.
Yeah.
A top up for. Not every cow will get silage at the minute, but
Yeah.
it's just a bit of gut fill to take the edge off them when they go back to the paddock.
Okay.
Some will milk while the others will feed, and then we'll push them into the parlour when we're running out of cows. Really, I should have made my trough bigger on my feed pads, fit bales in, but I live and learn.
So we're obviously at the collecting yard here, so you have 500 cows coming on. So
Yes.
there isn't space for 500 cows here. So what's the reality for you at the moment?
At the minute, the collecting yard comes round the corner
Yeah.
a bit onto this bottom yard, which
Yeah.
isn't great. I mean, you should never have more than 150 cows behind a backing gate anyway. Most of the milk in the cows flow. It's only towards the end we have to use the backing gate.
Yeah.
It's for those last few, and it's the training in the spring when you're training heifers to come in. You can pen them on a yard then without them escaping.
Yeah. So look, we'll walk towards the parlour here. So what size is it?
This is a 24 side, swing over, ACRs, feeders. Yeah, it was second hand in 07, 08 we put it in. It was only been in another farm 2 years, so we grabbed a bit of a steal on this.
Yeah. So it's done a lot of work since.
Done a lot of work, but we put, even at peak milk, we're putting 14,000 litres through a day, and they're coming, we're starting at 5 and last cups are off at 8:15 in the morning, and in the afternoon, first cups are on at 20 to 3, and last cow will be walking out the parlour just after 5, so it's a very efficient 24
It's good going.
side.
Leads on very strict in culling, like you mentioned, 35 cows already labelled for culling this year. Obviously, some of them yonis, but then others will be, because of slow milkers, not giving enough milk, free titter.
I wouldn't like to be a slow milker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those sort of cows don't last.
Yeah.
It has to earn, well, it's one of the biggest policies runs with the farm, the cow has to earn a space in here. Yeah, it is ranked to go in, it's just not a free ride.
Yeah.
2 milking at all times for that number of cows.
Okay.
We wouldn't ask one person to put 500 units on their own. It's two-man parlour now. Which really, it could do with being a 30 aside to fully utilise the 2 men, but
It is what it is.
it is what it is at the minute. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
not really much room to extend it.
Capital expenditure again, leading on to the farm really, whether it's not getting any return, putting any more in here, or whatever we do in here, it's just unfeasible for the amount of extra cows that it give you.
Yeah. And what's different on this farm as well, I suppose some people will say, why not put on the extra 10 units? You don't own the farm, it's in part of an estate farm here. So there's an element to that.
There's an
affecting
element
decision-making
of
as well.
that. If we want to move on to a second unit, we don't want to be spending a lot of money extending the parlour for a very small gain.
Yeah.
The problem with this, because it's older, the vacuum pumps aren't actually big enough just to put another 10 units on. You'd have to renew the whole lot.
There's no real room behind us here, as you can see, to go forward or back with it.
Yeah.
It's, you're talking about a much bigger, complete new setup to put a different parlour in.
Yeah.
Which at the minute we're just not at that point. Yeah.
Yeah. So as we walk through, before milking starts, it's EB feeders then as well, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah, no, they're pretty good feeders. They just batch feed, a set rate. Everything's on the same.
You have cup removers?
Cup removers, yeah. I'd swear by them. I wouldn't go without them now.
Yeah. And the fan?
4 fans actually. Yes, it's like a jet engine in here in the summer, but it does keep the flies at bay.
Yeah.
It's not nice when you're round the yard and you can hear somebody milking and it's not, you know, they're struggling, like, you know, you can soon hear when someone's upset and start a bit of shouting goes on at the cows. And,
Yeah.
that negates that now. It's made it a lot more pleasant. Anything I can do to make it more pleasant for the milkers in here.
Yeah.
Because it's tough going milking that many cows, like mats in the pit, just simple stuff.
Yeah.
We've got a step-up rail here to step up and
Yeah, which is just something that's missing on a lot of farms. I think it's a great idea.
to climb up and vaccinate or check a cow or whatever, yeah.
Yeah. So a screen here then, Ben?
That basically just shows you what's to milk, what's gone through the centre of the gate, what's in the left pen, what's in the right pen. I can draft off my phone, I can schedule drafts. Yeah, it's very handy for AI and round calving for drafting.
So every cow has a tag, so has it? RFID tag?
An EID tag.
Yeah.
EID tag, yeah.
Initially, you had to put an extra one in, but they're built into tags now at calf at birth anyway. So
Yeah. And the scissor gates, happy with them?
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Manually operated?
Manually operated,
Yeah.
so come up here, put the radio on.
So I think I was here when this was being fitted maybe a few years back. This, you put in sabre gate?
Yeah, we put in the sabre gate. It's been very good. Some people would call it a luxury spend on a dairy farm. Now it'd be one of the first things I put in. Automated segregation has made life so much less stressful and easy. We did have a nibble at some automated heat protection, and I'm not going to badmouth it. It just didn't work for us. This particular system,
Yeah.
might work for somebody else, but here we've gone back to tailgate in the short term. But the segregation gate has been fantastic and good race design with a curve in it, so they don't
They're all
sprint.
moving well.
They don't sprint through it too fast. A bit of a holding area, so 24 cows can exit the parlour very quickly.
Yeah.
You know, so that it doesn't slow the parlour up, so then they can then filter through the race.
we'll get a time of one cow at a draft, and she'll stand there for 20 seconds until she moves. So having this holding yard vital, like.
It's all been stock boarded as well, so quite often this is very handy. When we're TB testing at the end of the race, the ones coming out the parlour are blissfully unaware of the handling that's going on at the other end. Because you know what they're like, if they work out that there's something going on up there, oh, we're not going up that race. Whereas now, they'll flow up.
The less they know, the better.
Yeah, the less they know, the better, and then the more stress-free it is for them. We'll bowl us 500 in 3 hours through this race.
Do it faster than we can milk, like.
We'll keep up with the parlour.
It's
I mean, it takes some
competition between us.
as long as you've got some good lads on it, and women as well, to work the race.
So some of the functionality on the gate here, what do you like about it that works well that maybe other gates don't have?
So if my brother just gets the manual button, or is it the top of the parlour pit, Johnny?
Yeah, parlour.
The whole race, the whole segregation race moves, so the cow's line of vision is never obstructed.
Yeah, so if it's going right, there's two gates moving with it.
Two gates moving with it.
Yeah.
Now there is a set of gates behind that shut very quickly should a cow test it.
Yeah.
Because you'll get some cows that know they're going to get drafted, so they'll try and beat it. And then those gates will kick in and stop her.
Only then?
Only then. They don't always kick in.
Yeah.
It's only when a cow really races at it that those gates will kick in.
Okay.
Or they'll kick in behind and stop the next one pushing through.
So, yeah, draft it right.
You can see those gates are quite aggressive to retain draft accuracy.
Yeah.
They have to be. Yeah.
We had that pen never used to be that big, and we altered it bigger. It's more. The right pen works better because the cows naturally come down the race and they go off the grass that way. So when the cow's drafted, it naturally follows the one in front and just stops any backlog happening further on.
Sometimes this other pen's problematic because they keep trying to get back to the same corner that they came out on.
Because the other cows are still here.
Whereas they come into this pen, they just go, don't they, Johnny?
We've seen other systems where they make the pens here and they don't seem to flow through because, here they follow a natural line to grass.
Yeah. your non-return gates, I suppose, are playing a part in that then, are
Yeah,
they? Yeah.
because you'll get other cows that will just try and push back in the race for whatever reason.
It does slow them down as well. Well, sometimes that gate does get stuck and you have a young heifer, you see a light and run the whole length. But when that gate's out, it stops them galloping.
Yeah, those non-returns. Just a bit of something in the way to slow them.
Yeah. Okay. Ben, one thing that would stand out to me in the Shropshire, Cheshire area is the lovely old buildings. And this is a lovely old milking parlour.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't practical in recent years to be milking there, but with higher numbers, but they've great character.
Yeah, they say the world's unequal now, but many years ago the rich really were rich when they built these beautiful brick buildings just to milk cows in. And where we're standing here was sort of the collecting yard that fed into that brick building. We then milked in there. It was somewhat of really was a dungeon.
Yeah.
But we've converted that out now, so the seg gate, as they seg left, cows can then feed back into the old parlour. And it's now an AI race in there, or scanning race, and it works fantastically, really.
So would they have been built traditionally for 50, 60 cows or what in the day when they were built, or smaller numbers?
That was, initially it had an 8-a-side swing over in it, and we doubled it up to a 16 unit, as in it had clusters both sides.
Yeah.
I don't know whether there was a shipping in there years before that. There could well have been, before the actual parlour. My dad might know that, but yeah, that's what was in there when we come. We had an 8-a-side swing over.
Okay. Yeah. So let's walk through here and see what you've repurposed it as.
And it's now just a massive vet and AI race.
Yeah.
The only downside is the vacuum pump could have done with being somewhere else.
Yeah, it's keeping the noise here all the same, away from the parlour.
But normally by the time we AI, the vacuum pump is shut off, so it's fine then.
Yeah. Okay. Then you've it set up here for your foot repairs or whatever, your foot maintenance.
Yeah, this is known as the left seg pen.
Yeah.
So cows for AI are segged into here, and then they go into the brick building for AI that I've just showed you. And then we've got a race here that then leads into a HTL crush, which is fully automated. It's got motors on to pull the leg up, and a hydraulically driven bar to just help push the cow into the crush if she's being stubborn and won't go in.
Yeah.
I used to have an antiquated, very, very outdated old metal crush, and it quite a stressful operation doing feet before that. Cows fighting to get out because he couldn't secure them properly, and this is much better.
How often are you using that?
The crush, I can do it as they go lame now, daily, because it's so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very rarely do I have to leave lame cows long, but we use it for all sorts of stuff now. If I need to put a tag in a cow or something like that, or if I need to inspect a sick cow, we get them in there.
Johnny, the device there on the gate, I've seen lots of those. What are you using it for?
Don't you have to get some on your website. You got, obviously you have a bull and cow chasing around it for hours, isn't it? So obviously we use it to just pull them in, stop and beach, because we have another one on the gate there. Obviously it's quite handy, you can pull the gates in on them while you're going round.
So yeah, if I was the cow, he'd just pen me in.
Yeah.
It's just less stress on the animal. As soon as you get this out, you might get one or two that give you a run and you let it go, but they've got used to it now and there's less stress. You just walk in nicely.
There's another one on that gate, so we can get them from that yard to this bit, and then this bit into there.
Yeah. Health and safety wise, it's probably helping too a bit, is it? You know, you're not totally top for.
Yeah, it's more just they're not screwing on the feet of the cows. They just walk in, flow nice. The cow flow's perfect, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's also you don't need two of you. You can do it all one man, work it themselves. So, but
With all those dog leads, they're very difficult to get in there.
Safety-wise, obviously, we have got all the big slip gaps here as well, everywhere, in terms of that. So.
We were discussing earlier about the water and the importance of not running out, so this is where all your water is basically coming from, or before it hits the paddocks, this is where it starts, is it?
Yeah, it's a 30 cube tank, so more than we need, but I'd rather have that luxury of not running it down to the bottom all the time. Yeah. The alarm goes off at about 8 or 10 cubes, something like that, when there's only 8 or 10 cubes left in it. So if there is a big leak, you've still got water.
Yeah.
Complete leak.
And that's kind of your height level then, is it?
That
piece
thing
on
on the
left?
side, is a measure of how much water's in there, so
Yeah.
you've got an idea on the level as well.
Yeah. So what year did you move from the old parlour here to the new?
2007, I think. A long time ago now. That was really my dad's doing there. He just got completely fed up year after year milking in that dungeon. He was milking 200 cows through that 8-a-side in there, which was a lot of cows. We thought we'd never need a bigger parlour when we put a 24-a-side in. Now we're back with 500 cows going through a 24-a-side, and it's like,
History repeating itself.
Parlour's a bit small again, but there you go.
Needs must. So Ben, with an expanding farm, I suppose storage capacity became an issue and you've improvised a bit on that?
Yeah, we had 12,000 litres capacity in the other 2 tanks, or 13,000 if you brimmed them, which was not nice trying to brim a tank. It's, all of a sudden, stop the units, you've got to move the tank. But we went out and silo was an option, but that was some serious capital expenditure. And you can't just plonk a tank on a yard anymore in the open air. It has to be sealed and vermin-proof. So we found this on Facebook Marketplace. A guy had made his own little self-contained dairy, and we bought it off him pretty cheaply, and it was just plug in and go, really.
That extra capacity, because the spring carbon was so front-loaded, more for the peak milk. So if we built a silo, it'd only be for 2-3 months of the year, and the rest of the year we'd be back into the original.
This tank's only in use for 2 or 3 months at peak.
Yeah.
But we've now got 17,000 litres of capacity, so we've got more than enough room now to, even if the full 500 eventually do get to 30 litres, we'll still have the room for it.
Just a bit more out, because obviously you do more and more problems with transport as well, so in the back end when we do get problems we can hold further milk, or another milk until the lorry comes. It doesn't happen often, but it's just nice security to have.
All the night milking fits in one tank, and then the morning milking goes between the 2. So you've only got the 1 tank changeover during milking, which is not too much of a nightmare then.
Yeah. We discussed the role of solar. Do you see it relevant for your farm here or not, in this whole sustainability world? Or?
Well, it's always not nice to quote on, obviously believe in new technologies and everything, but where we are and in the investment and return on capital, probably not there for us. Other people are in different life cycles or different stages on that, you know what I mean? But for us being a spring calving farm, we need that electric, you know what I mean, in the early hours of the morning, late hours of the night, so it doesn't really suit us. I've heard of people storing it in ice, you know what I mean, but our biggest electric cost is running that parlour, so that solar energy has got to go directly from the panel to the farmer. At the moment it will go back to the grid, and then we have to buy off the grid for the parlour, and then we get paid half rates and stuff you supply to the grid. So your return on capital is very small, where I know in cases of arable or all year round guys, if you can run directly off that, battery technology may change, still hell of a cost.
And the grants aren't great either for a year yet, are they?
Not really, no. Or if you do put a grant on it, the price goes up on it.
It's not simple, so.
So the money could do better elsewhere for us, but not against it or anything. You know, I mean, it's a bit like Septima, it's always evolving technology. Keep an eye on it, but not for us at the minute in time.
Very good. I suppose, look, to conclude our visit here today, I think we've seen a really good story family farm. You've grown to a lot of cows. You've done it in a sustainable way, and you've done it differently as well, I suppose, with a big focus on the return on capital.
Yes.
And I guess you're ready for launching into another farm if you can get another opportunity. You bring a lot of, I suppose, there's a lot of potential with you, Johnny, I suppose, in terms of what you can do and what you can offer maybe a landowner or whatever.
No, definitely interested in all sorts of opportunities, anything out there. So, we look at everything really, to be honest. It's just really now into recent years we've both got a little bit older and sort of things out here we're real eager to bite at it.
So I'm sure, look, if you're looking, and it's not just luck, if you're looking hard and you're doing the right thing as you are here, something will turn up.
No, do believe in that as well. We've seen other people, other farmers, like in local discussion groups, do the similar thing. They're a bit further ahead of us. And yeah, we just can't see why not.
Stay well connected with other people. And
Yeah.
surprising what you find when you get talking.
Yes. No. Well, look, the best of luck in your search anyway, and thanks for having us here today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.